are defined as documents that provide rules and guidelines that can be implemented consistently to ensure that products and services are suitable for their intended use. Standards provide the organization with the visions, understanding, and procedures that they needed to achieve the expectation of their stakeholders. Moreover, standards provide an objective for the organization and their customers from all around the world to communicate while conducting their business. Furthermore, it is obligated for all organizations to provide the best services to clients at whatever cost. It is because of the implementation of quality principles alone does not guarantee that all the guiding principles of quality will be effective in organization. It must ensure the customer satisfaction in order to keep the longevity of the business. One of the examples of quality standard is Ecosystem Conducive Sector Awam, which is Eksa. Eksa is a continuation of the 5S practice, which is sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. Eksa is like rebranding for 5S implementation of public sector in 2010 that is led by Mampu. The Minister of Health Malaysia had provided a guide of implementation of Eksa. Through the guide, it explained the concept of Eksa, the new elements introduced by Eksa, and the implementation methods at the MHO's headquarters.
Right now, I'm going to talk about the background of the Ministry of Health. Before independence, there was a long history of health. During this time, hospitals were built to treat in mine workers, and each worker was charged 50 cents a year for care. Perak had the most hospitals towards the end of the 19th century because of its burgeoning mining industry. Sri Manjung, Taiping, Tanjung Rambutan, Tapah, Slim River, Parit Buntar, Ipoh, Selama, Kampar, Kuala Kangsar, Greek, Teluk Intan, Cangkat Melintang, Sungai Siput, Batu Gajah are among the 15 hospitals in Perak. In addition to hospitals, Azaman Group like the Institute for Medical Research IMR were founded in 1900 to combat infectious illness like malaria as well as beriberi. The goal of IMR was always to learn more about the roots of all this severe infectious subtropical illness and how to stop them from spreading. With the addition of new healthcare facilities annually, the Ministry of Health will aim to develop in a range of medical techniques and applications, including cardiology and geriatric medicine. The ministry additionally serves as a framework for neighboring nations. The ministry's goal has shifted to include more egalitarian, accessible, and high-quality health facilities. The above advancement is in line with a global transition in ecological health and health technological innovation, as well as variations in infections, wellness, the ecosystem, and scientific progress.
In January 2014, Conducive Ecosystem of Public Sector, or well known as Eksa, was introduced to replace new public sector terminology 5S practices. 5S practices come from the Japanese concept and are applied in a corporate context in Malaysia. It was known as the 5S concept, which stands for sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. Eksa was replaced when it is more effective and efficient. With this in mind, it is aimed to boost workers' productivity, especially public sector officials and organizations. Improving working environment may result in increased workplace productivity. Eksa provides the public sector with a more innovative and incentive department to provide an ideal working environment and enhance productivity and service quality. It is vital for public sector to consistently enhance service performance and quality to ensure that our country continues to expand internationally. The main objective of upgrading 5S practices to Eksa is corporate image, go green, agency diversity, conducive work environment, and creativity and innovation. Next presenter will explain detail about this objective.
Then I'm going to talk about the feature of Eksa. The first feature is corporate image. This feature relates to a customer's or stakeholders' image or view of the surroundings along with Putrajaya Holding, PGH, behaviors and each day of the zone. Counters, furniture patterns, and communal areas are instances of conditions that needed corporate pictures. In terms of the counters, maintain that office services and devices have always been in good working order, which can be used securely. Also, that counter environment is often wiped, so it will not be grubby, spotless, and well organized. Then, path signs, guidelines, and alerts are strategically placed and recognizable to the general populace. Because the counter service contains associated forms, they should be organized and labeled, and a sofa or chair ought to be available in the reception room for consumers. Creative thinking in organizing furniture and equipment is urged in an attempt to develop far more pleasant space and increase office cheerfulness while posing no threat to security or health.
Next, we are going to talk about the next features of Eksa, which is co-grains. In Malaysia, like the rest of the groups, is dealing with environmental issues such as water and air pollution, as well as infectious diseases. In this day and age, the uses of plastic bags have become a norm in our society because it was affordable and easy to purchase in bulk. For example, we can see in supermarket they giving the customer using the plastic bag. But however, Ministry of Health have taken an initiative to handle this issue as they provide three ways, which is practice 3R, which are reduce, reuse, and recycle, and they also organize a campaign that calls towards a green earth without plastic bags in pharmacies, and they also reduce the cost of buying plastic bags and using reusable bags. The impacts of co-green features in Ministry of Health is they can ensure the well-being of the people as the issue can be resolved.
The third feature of Eksa is agency diversity. The purpose of agency diversity is to ensure that auditing elements meet the needs of various public sector agencies. The one-size-fits-all approach while inside 5S practice was found to lack the needs of various government departments and agency diversity requirement at present. So, Eksa introduced a new evaluation and auditing model that includes both generic criteria and specific criteria by taking into account the diversity of government agency premises according to the type of services provided. Hence, the auditing model will be based on the agency diversity. The previously practice was replaced with a new model which is Evaluation Model A and Evaluation Model B, and it consists of 6 components, which is Component A, B, C, D, E, and F. In both model evaluation, the agency will be evaluated based on the criteria of components. For example, hospitals, clinics, schools, and public universities will be evaluated and audited based on the social cluster. It is because of each cluster will not possess the same components. That is why they cannot be evaluated and audited in the same way. Hence, with the implementation of Eksa in any organization will help them achieve the diversity in agency team.
Other features of Eksa is conducive work environment. A conducive work environment is a workplace that promotes employee safety, growth, and goal attainment. These environments are most conducive to a successful workforce as they encourage employees to perform to their highest ability. Therefore, with the presence of Eksa in any organization can help them to achieve this conducive work environment easily. This is due to the function of Eksa itself, which is obviously to manage and guarantee that all acts in the company are coordinated and in right working order. This will not only help to boost the organization's quality, but it can also come up with the increasing of the organization's development.
Finally, creativity and innovation. This feature promotes creativity and innovation as demanded by stakeholders. Casually, creativity involves cleanliness and neatness, creating a good and pleasant workplace environment. Certainly, creativity needs staff to think beyond the box because creativity is enormous. One innovation IPKKM team did was creating stationary storage or storeroom. The storeroom has a lot of good that is necessary to staff such as stationery, files, and logbook. For example, a pen is quickly lost from sight and staff must use it. They can obtain the new pen from the storeroom without wasting time locating where it lost. Next, labeling. Labeling is vital as searching is easier. Many things that involve labeling, especially in massive public sector organizations. In this instance, labeling must assist staff and patient. For example, the label basket for patient to put their appointment card to avoid mixing document between patient and staff. The information board also needs labeling that patient and staff may access information on the right board. It shows that labeling is significant for staff and patient and help their affairs.
Starting with the formation of committees, all of the committee members had their own roles and responsibilities. For example, the patron needed to determine the ultimate course of Eksa implementation, develop regulations and guidelines, and he also had to train staff about the hygiene standards. Meanwhile, training committee was assigned to prepare a training plan for all workers to help them understand the procedures of Eksa. The audit committee, permission committee, and secretariat also had their own roles accordingly, which can be seen from the diagrams. Next implementation is the creation of Eksa Zone. This Eksa Zone was established in effort to promote the application of Eksa activities, which had been categorized into 30 zones. Some of the zones are the legal zone, which comes from the Office of the Legal Counsel Department, and international zone that comes from the Policy and Relation Departments. All of the zones given are based on their department specialties, as we can see from the table. After that, the determination of requirements of Eksa Zone. There was a committee for the Eksa Zone implementation which called Eksa Zone Implementation Committee. As per usual, all the Eksa Zone Implementation Committee members also had their own roles, which can be seen from the diagram shown. As a final point, another implementation of Eksa in the Ministry of Health is emphasizing the implementation of Eksa practices. It can be seen through the 12 classification that covers the area of the workplace in the ministry, which are Eksa corner provisions, master file specifications, audits, training, promotions and zones, office space, human resource capabilities, and many more. Moving forward to the challenges of Eksa. One of the challenges of Eksa is time and cost management. This is because in an organization, the most critical piece in existing with the operation is the insight in resource allocation and utilization. Without a great operation, the development of certain project or product will cause time overrun and cost rise. Yes, Eksa actually has the capability to handle it, but when it comes to the organization that need to manage a complicated process of the project, it can slow down the activity itself, which will increase the time consumed and high cost in order for it to be done.
One of the challenges that need to face is exchange structure and organizational members. The entire organization needs to be changed whenever requirements are identified, because every change will be developed for a new idea. It is to ensure that new organization structure and members accomplish new goals. However, members of the organization, in order to reach the new target quickly, must adapt to the change, because a change or addition of members may occur in this structural change where they have a bigger and more powerful ability to accomplish new goals of Eksa. There is no time to procrastinate to adapt the new structure because time is so precious.
The third challenge is Ministry of Health vaccine was inefficient management, where the upper height loses their control to operate the organization well and it affected the health system where it became a paralyzed administration. For example, in Malaysia, during this pandemic COVID-19, most of the managers failed to handle timely operational judgments that causes inadequate plannings and response actions on how to handle this virus among the society. There are many people in Malaysia who does not get their first vaccines, and it made them feel anxiety because the process of distribution of the vaccine was very slow, as the government has stated to achieve the herd immunity in early December. But however, it was shown the process was very slow. It was shown the incompetence of management on handling the distribution of the vaccines. In conclusion, the public sector conducive ecosystem, or known as Eksa, was great to help public sector agencies improve their organizational culture of high performance and innovations. As in the Ministry of Health, the organization has achieved many successes through Eksa, such as low-cost healthcare system that benefits the people, that provides universal and comprehensive services, and it is paid by general revenue. Other than that, Ministry of Health also have built a well-respected model of comprehensive public primary healthcare that includes outreach services to rural areas, and 75% of hospitals in the highly subsidized by public sector. However, there are few challenges that Ministry of Health may face during their services that could disappoint the people, such as inefficient management, but they have overcome it together because as a group, they have a great leader who lead them, as they can become successful as today.
Thank you for watching our videos, and I hope you guys enjoy it.